Welcome back to D&J React, where music sparks conversation.
Every day.
In today's conversation, it's a BTS documentary. It will give you goosebumps.
Feeling it already.
Yeah, this one's from 2013 to 2023, so a 10-year run. This is going to be fun. Before we jump in, thank you everybody on GoFundMe. Thank you everybody on Patreon. You guys have been an amazing support to us. Appreciate you guys. With that being said, let's jump in.
Let's get it.
They were unknown, just a group of 7 young boys trying to make it in the music industry, facing constant setbacks, failures, racist remarks, and insults from radio show hosts, feeling like giving up and almost saying goodbye to their careers. Little did they know that within a few years, they'd become one of the world's most renowned Korean boy bands.
Legends.
They have come so far. They have made history. They have paved the way for talent. This is their story, a roller coaster journey of failure and success, desperation and triumph that has captivated millions of fans across the globe. This is how the BTS international sensation made it from zero to hero. This story is going to change the way you look at life. It's not a story, it's a motivation for everyone watching right now. Let's look at this inspiring story that changed the lives of many people all around the world. Let's take you to 2010 when BTS was nothing. Big Hit was almost bankrupt. During these times, Big Hit decided to give BTS a try with a fresh concept and new faces. Debut another boy band named BTS that might change things. It was a difficult thing. Things were uncertain, but Big Hit took that risk. In 2013, BTS debuted. They were so excited and worked hard for this. And finally, BTS performed for the first time.
Bro, Big Hit is literally like the definition of a visionary.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that he saw so much talent in these guys at the very beginning. Granted, like RM was really good at, rapping and stuff, so it's kind of an easy pick, and he's a good leader, strong character too.
Mm-hmm.
But for the other guys, they like some of them they picked off the streets just by looking at them.
Yeah.
Like, bro, how do you know that they would
Just got a good eye for it, man. Good feel. He's been in the business.
like
He
you can
knows it.
teach someone to dance and stuff, but to be able to sing, that's like a
That's
natural
hard, yeah.
gift, but you can build on top of that natural
Right.
gift. But the other big thing that's not really foreseen is the work ethic. Like, you don't know if somebody's going
Right.
to last or like keep working hard past the mental breaking
Exactly.
points.
Yeah, because
That's-
there's so many struggles in life and things that you go through. You need somebody with strong character and will to want to push through the hard times.
Yeah, I think their team collectively has that mindset, and
Yeah.
they all kind of feed off of each other and stuff. So that's, that guy picked a freaking amazing team.
Yeah.
Do you think it was because they liked BTS's talent? No. This chance was given to BTS just because the scheduled performance was canceled. And looking back at this, it makes me so angry. Imagine how many groups still face this type of treatment. If you think that's worse, then prepare yourself for the next part. Because most times, whenever BTS performed in the shows, their performances were not broadcasted or cut off because compared to other big companies with lots of money, Big Hit was not a big shot. They didn't have enough money to spend on marketing, promotion. Even the clothes they wore were really cheap, due to which many people accused them of plagiarism. That's why the boys did what they could to promote themselves. The boys went to the streets with tickets in their hands, giving it to many people for free. Yes. And even after that, how many people joined? Only 400 armies. But BTS didn't let these
Still
small
pretty good,
setbacks
yeah.
disappoint them, and since this was just the start, the boys were so ambitious. The next year, Boy in Love was released. BTS worked hard on this concept. It was a schoolboy concept popular among many big K-pop groups, and fans loved it. Even if you still watch this video, it will feel like a breeze of fresh air, but the reaction BTS got from this release was completely unexpected. They were accused of copying this concept, which is such a ridiculous thing. Because this type of concept is really popular in K-pop, and it made me wonder why some K-pop fans went this far to discourage a group that's completely new in K-pop. The worst thing was the backlash from the media, and even when they went to a variety show, the host didn't hesitate to talk about plagiarism. However, Suga handled the situation pretty well. He said we had already shot the video and everything was ready, but somehow times overlapped and things didn't go as planned. Even after that, BTS was accused many times of copying concepts of famous boy bands, copying outfits to get some clout. Some went too far, saying that BTS even plagiarized their logo, which is enough to break anyone who is starting their career in K-pop. But BTS didn't look back, and the boys courageously moved forward.
I feel like it wasn't necessarily like, individual people. I feel like it was the big corporations pushing those narrative, kind of like what
trying to hold them back.
Kind of like what the news channels do today to everybody. Like, you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is turn on that propaganda, news, basically. Right. Everything on news is propaganda and, mostly BS.
Yeah, they have their own narrative.
Yeah, so they're trying to push a narrative in the industry, at least in their industry, and the fact that these guys were growing so quick without having to put loads and loads of cash behind the artist. I mean, that probably pissed a lot of big companies off. They're like, dude, we're doing all this work, we're spending all this money, and these guys are not having to do any of the
they're not
funding.
They're not playing the game like we are.
Yeah.
Jealousy.
And they're still making it. So I feel like they just put out a bunch of people or paid a bunch of people off to attack them or make a bunch of fake accounts to attack them.
I mean, I'm sure there's regular people, too, that are just mean-hearted and, they always have something negative to say.
Get that on YouTube, Just no matter what you do. I mean, like Mr. Beast went over to Africa and helped a bunch of people get fresh water from wells and made a bunch of wells for all them, and people on there were like, you could have fixed world hunger with that money. It's like, no matter what you do, people are gonna hate on you.
There's always somebody out there.
And after 2 years, they won their first music show award. BTS were on cloud 9, and so was the fandom. Things were going pretty well until haters entered the chat. Yes, some haters said that Big Hit bought albums, that's why sales went up. So in short, this win didn't earn any positive reputation for BTS. But these claims were buried in the dust because Big Hit wasn't doing well then. They were using managers in music videos to cut the cost of hiring people and buying $14 clothes. So buying albums in huge quantities was just a ridiculous claim by haters. Moving forward, BTS was accused of spreading misogyny with controversial lyrics. The lyrics of songs such as Hormone War and Rap Monster's Joke were controversial. The fans of BTS considered these lyrics as a crass reference to general men.
War of Hormones, I mean, we did that one. I didn't really see anything that bad in it. I know people kind of lost their minds over it, but Joke, I could see people being offended by that. We just did that one today. We recorded it, and I liked it. I thought it was pretty badass. It was a cool-ass song, but I can see why, because there was a lot of language and explicit stuff in there. It blew my mind to see him do that. Like, I had no idea he would go that far with it. And it was pretty cool, though. I liked it.
Yeah, that was intense, man. I mean, the lyrics and shit that he was spitting out were really, really bad.
They were harsh, man.
They were super harsh.
But it was towards all the haters. It was like he'd had enough, and it was just him letting loose. Yeah, I understand it.
I think the War of Hormone, just a lot of women took offense to it based off the couple things that they said in there, whereas the Joke song that RM wrote is more towards the haters and not directed at women specifically, so I don't know, it's a touchy subject.
But hey, I like the song.
I like the song too. I thought both the War of Hormone and Joke were fire.
In South Korea, even the 2014 song Boy in Love became controversial because it had some childish lyrics and forced women despite their choices and consent. BTS didn't hesitate to accept their mistake. Instead, they apologized and released an official statement on Fan Cafe. Then the most saddest moment happened that still brings tears in the eyes of every ARMY. When Jungkook went to a variety show, The Flower Crew, Jungkook brought hamburgers, Coke, Sprite, and bacon for the people. Jungkook offered it to them, but they straight up rejected it. Like, seriously? What's the harm in accepting such a sweet offer? In the video, when Jungkook says this, sadness is clearly visible on his face. Why are they not accepting it? But things took a quick turn, and years later, Grammy-nominated artists BTS were invited to TVN's U Quiz on the Block. And the host was Jo Se-ho, the same man who disrespected BTS. This is what we call karma. Do you agree? And ARMY didn't let it slide and trended many hashtags asking him to apologize. Due to so much pressure from netizens, he apologized. I am also sorry if I have made the audience feel uncomfortable. I may have acted differently since I was trying to get to know Jungkook and Kim Min Suk. BTS members
That's
had a
that's not necessarily an apology. He apologized to the audience. He didn't apologize to them.
Yeah, he apologized because he got caught.
Yeah,
Like,
he was forced.
Yeah,
So
he
that's
was basically forced.
that's
like,
trash.
Yeah, he's a douchebag. Honestly, that was a
Wow.
really dick move of him to do that. You could see it on his face too. He was
He
like
didn't care.
purposely not looking at him and like just being an asshole for no reason.
Yeah, that's not cool, man.
a good time in that show, and the ARMY also enjoyed it. In 2016, BTS released Wings album that broke worldwide records, and that made BTS one step closer to worldwide recognition. However, then a really alarming thing
That must have been a
happened.
fun shoot.
Oh,
Leader
yeah.
of BTS, RM, got injured. RM could not perform at the 2016 K-pop World Festival because of health issues. The agency released an official statement that RM felt severe pain while practicing. He was taken to an orthopedist immediately, and there was a high chance of a stress fracture in his leg. Although x-rays showed that he is doing fine, to avoid any inconvenience, he needs rest. For the Busan One Asia Festival on October 1, he didn't perform as well. BTS didn't feel really good without their leader, their support RM. But what I'm about to say next is the peak of unprofessional attitude of organizers. The performance was a complete mess. BTS gave their best. Singing, dancing, everything was next level. But there was no lighting, no cameras, only fan cams recorded this performance. The boys
What?
put in so much effort
That's
and were
messed up.
literally sweating after giving an energetic performance. And this is the response they got. Really disappointing. The worst part is that the performance wasn't even broadcasted. BTS didn't face rude attitudes from organizers and netizens.
Honestly, I think they're better off with the fan cams than they are with one studio filming and sending it out under their name.
Mm-hmm.
At least with fan cams, you have thousands of people out there videotaping it and showing their experience of it to the world. You get way more out of that than you do just from, the studio cameras.
Yeah, I agree. It shows different perspective, different angles and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, yeah, I think you're right. Fan cams are. I mean, sometimes they're not
And
as
it's
good.
free.
Sometimes they're not as good of quality, but
No,
it does show different angles and stuff.
but it's what I'm saying is, from a marketing standpoint, it's free advertising for them
Yeah.
because the public is actually doing it. Your fans are out there supporting you, doing it, showing it, and bringing new people in.
Yeah, I agree with
rather than just the studio kind of putting their narrative, their spin on what you did as a performer.
Yeah, 100% agree.
But even from their managers. There is a video of one of the BTS managers raising his hand to hit Jungkook. According to several netizens, the manager is saying, "Get lost while I'm still speaking nicely." The clip is from BTS 2016
Damn,
Seasons
dude.
Greetings DVD, Making Video. On December 10, Big Hit released an official apology through Twitter, stating that they are sorry for making fans worried and have taken strict action against the manager in question. In concert when BTS was performing, Taehyung shared the news of his grandmother's death with ARMYs. If you are an ARMY, you might know V shared a very close bond with his granny, and that's why he was devastated. Even at this grieving incident when V deserved support, and people should send condolences or leave him alone to mourn him for the loss, Antis decided to make things even worse for him. Antis not only sent death threats to him, but also said he should have gone with his grandma and
What the
made many
hell?
more rude
Bro,
comments
people are
which are
brutal,
purely
dude.
evil. Things were getting out of hand, and there was no sign of Antis stopping. After many disrespectful comments and death threats, Big Hit Entertainment made an official statement. We would like to announce that from November 10th, 2016, we will take strong legal actions against malicious online rumors, false information, personal attacking posts and comments, etc. that will harm the reputation of BTS members.
Good.
But do you think any statement like that would stop Antis from saying negative things about BTS?
Of course not.
Yes,
no.
you are right. It didn't stop them at all. In 2017, Jimin, the singer of BTS, received many death threats. Due to this, Big Hit increased security. ARMY made a human barricade with hands to show support and love for BTS.
That's awesome.
Which is the most loving event in BTS history, and not many people know about it. In 2017, BTS was invited to the BBMAs. For a K-pop group, it's a huge achievement. The boys were happy and motivated to start a new chapter for BTS. They were so young then and completely new in a foreign country. They had a lot of pressure and were shy, and most members didn't speak English fluently. They were called names, made fun of, and humiliated for not knowing a foreign language, which is so weird. And BTS can proudly say now that they broke the stereotype. To become successful and get international recognition, it's not important to know English. You only need talent and sheer dedication.
Yeah, I know for a fact a lot of groups, if they were met with the same scrutiny and like beatdowns that BTS got at the beginning, they would have quit.
Oh yeah,
Instantly
they would
quit.
have folded.
Yeah,
But that's a lot to take on, especially as young as they were. I mean, they were teens, like early 20s at the time. That's a tough age to like take on that much stress, pressure, and hate at the same time.
Yeah, these dudes are really mentally strong.
Mm-hmm.
For BTS, things were clearly going downhill, and this wasn't the first time. Even in the past, whenever BTS won awards, antis crashed the website of respected award shows, accused BTS of cheating, found some excuses to say negative things about them, or in the worst cases, sent death threats to the members, which was their last resort mostly. In a festa, RM mentioned that 2015, 2016, and 2017 were the toughest times for him. Suga added that they got so much hate during these years. In 2018, BTS even thought about saying goodbye to Big Hit and disbanding, which is a huge thing in itself, leaving your passion forever. Just imagine the amount of hate they got that they even decided to take this extreme step. In late fall of 2018, one of BTS members, Jimin, wore a t-shirt and on the back, there were drawings of atomic bombings of Japan during World War II, plus Koreans celebrating because they got freedom from Japan. The words written on the shirt were patriotism, our history, liberation, and Korea. TV Asahi Network said, "We have seen the news that a t-shirt worn by one of the members has set off a furor, and after asking their record company about this, we have made the decision to postpone their appearance on our November 9 show." BTS also apologized to people and fans who were looking forward to the broadcast. But it looked like the main problem wasn't the shirt, but something more.
What?
Western media
That's
and
crazy,
many
man.
netizens started spreading misinformation about the entire incident. Seeing this, ARMY didn't hesitate to show their support and love. They even compiled a 166-page paper named White Paper Project. They shared authentic information, stats, and the entire history of this rivalry, which made another point clear that never underestimate the power of armies. 2018 was overall a tough year for BTS. They revealed things were tough for them. Next is Naver and BTS. Naver is a social media app for K-pop fans and artists to interact with each other. From news to articles, everything related to K-pop is here. However, they faced millions of loss. In 2020, according to Insider, BTS held an online concert through Weavers. BTS earned almost $20,769,310 in revenue from 756,000 tickets. So to compensate for the loss, Naver joined hands with another organization, and from there, more fuel was added to the entire...
I didn't even know that they had a social media app strictly for K-pop.
I guess they do.
Yeah,
we
we
gotta
gotta
check it out and get on there.
that's what I was doing. I just wrote it down so I'd remember it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I want to check that out.
Entire situation. But this is completely fine because Naver have never openly supported BTS. Armies became detectives and dug into the situation, finding the missing clues to the puzzle. When one army tweeted about why you should use Weavers and exposed Naver, Naver is basically blocking BTS articles from their main page. Another army reported that Naver always blocks good articles about BTS, like breaking worldwide records, but somehow bad articles about them are always on the top page. And this gave armies enough reason to join Weavers and never ever use Naver again. In 2020, the parliament revised the law and made some significant changes. It allowed people who presented the country on an international level and added to the country's reputation excelled in the field of popular art to defer their enlistment until 30. and armies all over the world were overjoyed. In South Korea, all physically and mentally healthy men aged 18 and older must enlist in the military by the age of 28 for around 18 to 21 months. For now, only Olympians, athletes, and some reputable artists are exempted from enlistment. Jin is serving in the military right now, but at that time it was a huge thing for any artist. Likewise, other BTS members will also face enlistment as time approaches. Armies were overjoyed at this news, but many agencies and people didn't like this revision in the law. According to a survey conducted by the National Defense Committee, 60.9% of people favor BTS getting exempted from military service. Meanwhile, 34.3% were unhappy with it and called it discrimination against others. In 2021, more than 25 music agencies also wrote that the new law is unfair and discriminates against other artists.
I think that's probably why they took it upon themselves to go in, because they don't want that backlash of people being like, oh, you're just treating them like they're special.
Yeah, they didn't want the favoritism.
Yeah.
You know, they actually appreciate their country and they want to serve and honor the country.
I think it's a cool story too to tell your kids in the future. Like, like I did all this stuff. I created this band BTS, and I also enlisted in the army for 21 months.
Yeah, went through the whole process.
Yeah, I did everything that your country's culture is all about. Yeah. I think that's good.
Absolutely.
It's considered somewhat illogical because BTS alone was adding millions to the economy of South Korea. And that's what made the government conclude that these boys deserve this. And they have done a lot for their homeland. Moving on, BTS was nominated as the Best Duo Group Performance. However, BTS didn't win the award, but that's not what made the ARMY furious. ARMY stated that Grammys used BTS for clout. Fans noticed that BTS were also treated poorly. Fans added Grammys kept talking about BTS's performance. A German show host, Matthias Matuschik, openly expressed his racist remarks and called BTS Corona. He even said BTS should go to North Korea for the next 20 years. Celebrity Steve Aoki defended BTS. He said, unacceptable the way radio host Matthias Matuschik speaks hate and racism in general, let alone to my brothers. I stand with BTS. Due to a lot of pressure, he apologized and said, he underestimated the huge fan potential behind BTS's 3 letters.
It means he's not sorry. Yeah. He's just sorry that the fans were so massive and shit on him for doing that. He's not actually sorry.
Caught. Yeah, he got caught, and now he feels stupid. Now he's like doing a fake apology to the media.
No,
to the public.
That's how he really feels. Like he's just racist. Like that's how he really feels. That's his real self. That's messed up.
He was even removed from hosting any segment of Bjorn 3. In 2022, BTS shared a video about something that surprised the ARMY worldwide. It is a temporary hiatus. One member added, we've talked among ourselves several times, and we believe it's good to take some time apart. During the FIFA World Cup, Jungkook was the star. He gave an amazing performance, which increased his fan list, but many ARMYs and netizens were furious by this news. During a recent live stream of Jungkook, he shared with the ARMY that he brought chicken for Jimin and invited him to eat together. Some people called him jobless, annoying, and desperate for attention. The group did years of hard work, polished themselves, and emerged as a gem. Some fans defend this by saying that idols must go through these things. But it's time for a positive change in which we treat K-pop celebrities like humans. Be a part of this amazing community where we talk about K-pop, BTS, and much more. Watch more interesting videos here.
People need to chill, dude.
No, Jesus. These haters are ridiculous, man. They're just, I can't imagine meeting people like that in person. They must be the most
you would never
sad,
meet somebody
depressed,
like that
miserable people.
They're called keyboard
yeah, they're just
warriors.
sitting in a basement somewhere, depressed and sad and lonely.
They're called keyboard warriors for a reason. Mm-hmm. It's because they're never gonna say that in front of your face.
Absolutely not. They'd get knocked out.
They would get knocked out, yeah. I mean, probably not by BTS. BTS too nice for that, but
I would.
Yeah, I mean, you don't normally see people talking like that to each other in person. The internet's made it so easy.
They don't have the balls for it.
The internet's made it so easy for people to do that shit online and not get punched in the face for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, out in public, you pull that shit, you're getting knocked out.
Yeah, or there's gonna be a lot of heat on you. You know, People don't want that. But anyways, good stuff, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for more. Jump over to Patreon. We got a ton of BTS exclusive content over there. We're giving 7 days away for free and 15% discount when you pay up front for the whole year. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.